Chun-Li. Quite simply, the most iconic female fighting game character ever. A trend setter, a needle mover. Obviously, her impact has changed the landscape of fighting games. Credited as the first playable female character, keyword playable. There were actually other female fighting game characters before Chun-Li. You have a game called Yi Ar Kung Fu, which is kind of regarded like the one of the OGs, one of the granddaddies of fighting games, up there with Karate Champ, that featured two female characters, but they obviously had nowhere near the impact of a Chun-Li. And because of the absolute explosion of Street Fighter 2, practically all the world warriors became archetypes and templates for other fighting games to follow. And you ask, what's Chun-Li's archetype? The Chinese Kung Fu girl. The strong, fast Chinese Kung Fu girl. And that archetype, that trope can be seen in it can be seen in many fighting games. Today we'll be talking about all the characters, well, the majority of them that Chun-Li influenced. And we're going to be talking about some characters that just blatantly ripped her off. Chun-Li clones. So let's get right into it. Now, much like Ryu, a lot of names that get tossed around when it comes to Chun-Li. People say Mai, you hear Pai, you hear Kitana. Let's discuss this big three right now. Okay, Mai Shiranui, is she a clone of Chun-Li? Now, of course, some of the developers left Street Fighter to go over to SNK to create their own game, Fatal Fury. So did they just go and create Chun-Li? Is Mai a Chun-Li clone? And the answer is no. Mai is nothing like Chun-Li. Yes, they're the first ladies of their franchises, but they are nothing alike. Mai doesn't even follow the trope set. She's not Chinese, nor does she do Kung Fu. She's Japanese and she does ninjutsu. Total miss. Mai is nothing like Chun-Li, and they have completely different personalities. Chun-Li actually carries herself as a classy lady, while Mai carries herself as a... what's the word I'm looking for here? Mai is for the streets. She's on that thirst trap shit. No, but apparently it's a part of her whole get-up, distracting people with their racks and her ass set. But yeah, but to be fair to Mai, she stayed loyal to Andy. So even though she's thirst trapping, she's loyal to one dude. But yeah, Mai and Chun-Li, nothing alike. Moving on. Let's talk about Pai Chan. Now, of course, when people saw Akira, they're like, damn, what is this guy ripping off Ryu? So they're thinking, is Pai Chan ripping off Chun-Li? Is Pai Chan a Chun-Li clone? And the answer is no. She does follow the trope of being the fast Chinese Kung Fu girl. But story-wise and personality-wise, they are nothing alike. Chun-Li worked for Interpol, worked as a cop, now a trainer, a master. Pai is a young movie star. Chun-Li spent her entire life trying to avenge her father's death. Pai hates her dad and wants to defeat him, and only actually ended up forgiving him in the last Virtual Fighter. Completely different stories, completely different characters. And again, Virtual Fighter is grounded in realism. Pai is not doing any spinning bird kicks, kokokens, or lightning kicks. So no, she is not ripping off Chun-Li, or is she cloning her? Was she influenced? Yes. Cloning? No. And if you're like me and you liked your old martial art flicks like a Drunken Master, like Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, you will literally see the inspirations for Lao Chan, inspirations for Chun-Li. This came out in 1978. None of this stuff is new. A Chinese girl doing Kung Fu is nothing new. And most of those films at that time, if there was a female star, most likely would be dressed like Pai Chan and using a similar fighting style. So yeah. Kitana. Again, Kitana is a name that gets thrown around. Is Kitana ripping off Chun-Li? Absolutely not. They are nothing alike. Completely different fighting styles. She's freaking Edenian. She's 10,000 years old and a princess. Chun-Li is a cop. What do they have in common? They wear blue. And what's the last thing, people? Both their dads got killed by the boss of the game. Bison bodied Chun-Li's dad, and Shao Kahn bodied Kitana's dad. But yes, completely different. I'd say Li Mei has more of a shot of being a bit more like Chun-Li than Kitana. Especially in the earlier games, in like Deadly Alliance and that. Yes, she's from Outworld, but her outfits and fighting style was given the Chinese Kung Fu girl. And now in MK1, she more or less is an Outworld cop, patrolling Outworld, right? Out for justice. Yeah. Now me personally, I wouldn't choose either of them because I know there's actual Chun-Li clones, but yeah, Li Mei is definitely closer than Kitana. Let's talk about Xiao Yu, of course. Chinese is Chinese martial arts. Is Xiao Yu a clone of Chun-Li? And the answer is no. Again, completely different. Dead or alive, Lei Fang. Again, following the trope. Chinese doing Kung Fu, but they are nothing alike. She's not doing Kikoken, she's not doing spinning bird kicks. Not similar. We need more than just a trope. These three may go up a bit higher because they actually have a fireball. And they do follow all the tropes. However, personality-wise, I don't think any of them are like Chun-Li. So yeah, as you can see, this trope is actually very popular, but let's dig deeper and try and find some more. Let's try and find some actual clones, in no particular order. In fact, I'll stop when I find the number 1 clone. Let's go. Of course, a name that gets thrown around is Tia from Breakers. Now you look at her initially, you think, damn, this is a Chun-Li clone. But when you explore the character more, this character's all over the place. It's a mishmash. So of course you see the lightning kick. And of course she's got Chun-Li's legs, right? But this is the same character doing a dragon punch and shooting a sonic boom. And one of her specials is damn near a psycho crusher. This character's all over the place. Definitely can't give her the number 1 spot because she's not covering all the tropes. But they definitely took some shit from Chun-Li, including her victory pose. Power moves. Apparently she's a Thai martial artist born in China. Again, the moveset, a bunch of kicks. But again, this game had like 2 or 3 moves. This game actually sucked. But yeah, you can see the influence there. I'd say she was trying to be Chun-Li. She was trying to be the Chun-Li of this game. I see it. Miyuki, Fight Fever, of course a notorious Street Fighter 2 clone and ripoff. And of course you've seen their Ken and Ryu, so you know what's up already. So is this their Chun-Li? And practically yes. She's fast, uses a lot of kicks, can even hop off the wall. Her own version of the lightning kick. And they're trying to tell you her technique is dancing, but that does not look like dancing to me. I guess that was their attempt to try and say they're not ripping her off. But yeah, she's not from China, she's Japanese. But as you can see, clearly this was meant to be their version of Chun-Li. She's a sole female character in the game. Definitely a Chun-Li clone. But she can't take the number 1 spot. Keep going. I mean, not much needs to be said here. This was clearly a Street Fighter 2 ripoff, and that's clearly meant to be Chun-Li, their version. Again, when they were released around the time of Street Fighter 2, it's more bait, it's more blatant. So yeah, that's their version of Chun-Li. Should we throw Jam from Guilty Gear into this? I mean, she does follow the tropes. Chinese, as you can see there, she is doing the lightning kick. Knows chi manipulation. Only problem is, personality-wise, story-wise, nothing like Chun-Li. Here's a deep cut right here. Who remembers this game? She's an elegant female warrior who's a successor to her father's fighting style from China and doing Kung Fu. Can she take it? Of course, we get to the #1 Street Fighter clone, the notorious Street Fighter clone. Street Fighter 2's nemesis, Fighter's history, and of course, took them to court. You know the story. And this one's funnier because they actually have 2 female characters there. You have Fei Lin, who is actually from China and doing Chinese martial arts, the praying mantis Kung Fu. But she doesn't actually look like Chun-Li or fight like her, so she can't take it. Then you have Yomi, who looks more like Chun-Li, has the lightning kick, hopping off walls and shit, and Yomi again is a mixed bag. She's there shooting out sonic booms from her leg. What? Yeah, definitely a clone. They obviously moved around some stuff to try and not make it look bait, like they weren't clearly ripping her off, like giving Fei Lin the nationality and the style. But then she has her legs, the lightning kick, hopping off walls. Yeah, definitely a clone.
Yomi wins!
But people, as you know, I've been going through a bunch of obscure fighting games and I found the #1 Chun-Li clone. Found it in a PS1 game. Slap Happy Rhythm Busters. Wait, what? I'm gonna have to do a playthrough of this shit. My digging and research paid off. This is the #1 Chun-Li clone in any fighting game. All requirements were met. Looks like Chun-Li, and wait for the story. Gets into street fights, but only for justice. She's Chinese and is doing Kung Fu, and as you can clearly see, has her moveset. Even has the special Kikosho. It's a wrap. Now that's the definition of a clone. That's it, people. I'll do more of the World Warriors. Still got that patch incoming. And of course, if you're new here, these are the recommended videos.